There's too much noise in the backpack space, and the 11 is my curated reference list for EDC and personal item size backpacks, the only ones that I actually carry. They live on the hooks on my wall. Every new backpack has to earn one of these hooks or it doesn't stay. A hard number forces you to actually choose what matters. Today, we're seeing if this one has what it takes. Let's get into it. This is the Goruck Double Compartment Bullet Ruck in the 18-liter size, and I got it in the waxed canvas heritage edition. And my gut reaction when I first saw this bag was that I was absolutely in love with it. You know I have this insane love for waxed canvas. I love the way it feels, even though it's heavy, and it definitely feels hefty when it's in your hands. You can feel it, you can feel that heritage quality of it, but there's something about waxed canvas that just hits me in this really visceral, nostalgic, vintage, granddad's bag kind of way, where it just feels absolutely glorious. And normally I don't like black backpacks. When I saw this in the black colorway, I was absolutely floored with its overall aesthetics. Big thanks to Goruck for sending this out to me for test and review. All of my opinions are my own. From the way these quiet zipper pulls kind of dangle there really nicely and classy, this slash pocket on the front and how it fits this kind of form factor. This bag is basically like a slimmed down version of the Goruck GR2. No rain hoods over the zippers, no molly webbing anywhere throughout, way less militaristic looking, way more minimal. And the way you have this like leather bottom and wax canvas throughout, leather accents on the handle. The first time I laid eyes on this, I knew it was going to be one of my favorites. It just instantly hit me with that bag joy factor, or BJF, that we talk about. And there's just something about it that has this like cool factor. In terms of the vibe, what type of person is this for? This is for someone who loves waxed canvas, who wants a slimmed down EDC version of the GR2 if they already love that. Someone who doesn't mind something that's a little bit rugged looking. They could use it for rucking, they could use it for EDC, or they could use it for travel. Someone who wants to exude cool everywhere they go. If you care about how a bag looks as much as I do, then this bag should be on your radar, because look at the way this looks. It is so beautiful, so minimal, so understated, yet it still sticks out enough to make you look fashionable. This is for someone who's rucking, going into the office and wants to look cool, walking around a city and wants to look super masculine, super rugged, super tough. That's what I get when I look at this bag. I think it just strikes that perfect balance, because without the molly webbing, you don't have to worry about looking too overly tactical or like you're carrying a weapon in your bag. You just look like a normal person with a really high quality vintage backpack. So how did I carry this? How did I use this? So I've used this in my coffee shop setups when I want to go work somewhere. You have that super bomb-proof laptop compartment on the back. You just have to move the straps out of the way to get to it. Super hard frame sheet, really protective, really elevated, false bottom kind of laptop pocket, and it's protective in every way that you would want necessary. You have this whole admin panel in front of the main compartment where you can really organize your small gear, so I found it really useful for my tech. Sitting in a coffee shop with this, I felt like I fit in the vibes. I looked cool, I looked unique. It's had an awesome overall feel to it. I could easily get to anything in the pockets. I didn't have that rain flap in the way, so the zippers operated really easily. I was able to pull out my mechanical keyboard. I was able to pull out my laptop. I was able to pull out my mouse and my larger tech kits. So if you look at this here, in this front zipper compartment, This lays a little bit flat when it's loaded out. It's not super voluminous, but I could easily fit my Lockbee field folio in there. And it just has that nice look to it. Then for the admin panel, you just have so much cool organization in here. So in this top pocket, I was able to effortlessly fit my Evergoods Cap .5 with all my tech in it. And you have a really nice kind of like pouch that's attached at the top here, almost like a little sling that's inside this pocket, just like the GR2. The pocket zipper layout is a little bit different than the GR2. That one has all vertical zippers for these bottom mesh pockets, and it has a little bit of extra room because it's a bigger bag. But this one I really like. Got a vertical pocket here. Have my Bellroy cinch pouch with all my medical gear. Have my flat lay water bottle. Plenty of room to organize stuff in there. And then on the beaver flap, another mesh pocket here. I don't have anything in it right now, but it would be a good place to put other flat gear. And then in the top pocket, it's non-mesh, and you just have a little pocket here. That's the waxed canvas. And in there, I just have my quick access EDC items. So I got my cell phone, Pioneer Carry wallet, and my CJRB Nanner, little EDC knife here. Plenty of organization, and it's really fun, just like in the GR2, to kind of strategize the way you're organizing this pocket. So putting bulky stuff alternating with thin stuff so that it closes nicely. You can really conform, customize, and strategize the way your bag looks from the external. Really, really effective, really awesome admin panel setup. And in this back compartment, you can think about it if you were rucking. So it has plenty of room for short trips with travel or for your EDC, but it's also great if you're rucking, if you want to put some weight plates in here, put a water bag. It's so easy to get to this pocket, and it has all those little touches that make it really useful for a rucking situation. So in here, I have my noise canceling over-the-ear headphones, have my Evergoods Cap 2 with like my extended tech kit, so it has my mouse and everything like that. Got my portable mechanical keyboard. You see there is some MOLLE webbing on the inside here if you wanted to attach pouches at the top or secure your weight plate in here. There's some attachment in here if you want to add organizational panels or anything like that. And then on the beaver flap, you've got this really big stretch mesh pocket that has a vertical zipper. So if you wanted to put like a hoodie, put some clothes in there, you could easily do that, or just put some extra gear. Really effective, fully clamshell opening main compartment. Then, as I said, you have this really bulletproof laptop pocket, and also these wax canvas straps are even more comfortable than the GR2 straps. They're a little bit thinner, but they feel absolutely beautiful, and this thing fits me like a glove. So if I move those out of the way, you can see how this laptop compartment functions. Just pull it open, pull out my 13-inch MacBook Pro. You have this super hardy frame sheet in there. Really feels good against your back, keeps it very flat. And then you have this false bottom, upside down J opening kind of laptop compartment. And if we go back to the front, you also have the added benefit of being able to replace this little Goruck logo. I love the little leather Goruck logo, but it has a hook and loop panel if you wanted to put other patches on here. So on my GR2, I have this Casey Jones patch. It would work perfectly on here too and looks absolutely beautiful. In order to understand cricket, you got to know what a crumpet is. But yeah, I love hook and loop panels. I've become addicted to morale patches. And I love accessorizing these bags with things like that. So I've used this for EDC at a coffee shop to use it to work. Fits all my stuff gloriously. I could fit even more in there. This is more than I'd even usually take. I just wanted to show the volume. You could easily use this for rucking. I've walked around for a park for an hour plus with some weights in here. Felt great. So it's just another usefulness for this bag. And then for travel, because I travel very minimally, it feels like a larger than 18-liter bag when you load it out. And I was able to fit a week's worth of gear in here, no problem. Packing cube, shoes, all my stuff. It's definitely more slim than the GR2, so the GR2 is a bit more forgiving. Obviously, that's a 26-liter bag, so it's going to have a lot more volume. But this one still works perfectly, and because of its sizing, it's only a ½ inch higher on the height dimension than you would use for a personal item, so it's really easy to just like make that work. No one's really going to give you guff about it unless you're on like a super budget airline or you're in Southeast Asia or Europe. But domestically, in America, it's really easy to get this on a plane, throw it under the seat, and you're good to go. So as to the moment that this bag meant the most to me, I think it was yesterday when I was at a local outdoor festival in a little small town community. They have like all these craft vendors, live music, all that kind of stuff all over the street. Super nice summer thing to get into the vibe. And walking around with this, it was so comfortable. I could hold my adult beverage, my big Yeti water bottle. I could fit some snacks. I had some nice sour taffy in there, had some toffee peanuts. Could walk around, grab a snack, pop a squat near the music stage, watch a little action, watch some local bands do their thing. I was able to fit my Matador packable beach towel, so we had a place to sit. And I just felt cool. I just felt awesome. All the friction points that I would have had in some other bags were relieved with this bag. I could get to all my gear in there. The zippers were really easy to access. It was super comfortable to take on and off. I had quick access to everything I needed. It fit all my stuff. And it just was an absolutely wonderful experience to use this, plus the added benefit of looking cool as hell. So what's the bigger idea behind this bag? As you know, Goruck is all about rugged, lifelong lasting gear. So a heritage wax canvas bag fits into that aesthetic perfectly. It's just a bag that fits effortlessly into any situation. Whether you're dragging this thing to the office, whether you're dragging it to a coffee shop, the library, walking around an outdoor festival, traveling with it, rucking, taking it into the desert and living in a hole in the ground. It would fit in absolutely all of those situations. You could use this as a tactical guy living in the woods like John Rambo, or you could sit in an office building with your feet up and the air conditioning on and get your work done. So the overall philosophy and intent of this bag is to be minimal enough, useful enough, and organized enough to get your work done in an effective manner and fit into the everyday person's lifestyle, but also rugged enough for the ruckers, the military people, the service people, the campers, the outdoorsmen that really want something rugged that they could throw off a bridge and it's not going to get damaged. That's what this bag is for. That's what this bag represents. Minimalism and militarism all in one. And I freaking love that. In terms of my honest critique, it's similar to my critiques of the GR2. They're not things that necessarily bother me, but they're just something to note because no bag is perfect. That front slash pocket is super shallow, especially when the bag's loaded out, so it makes it a little bit less useful than average. The top sunglasses pocket up here is a little bit shallower than I would want. I wasn't able to fit my case for my glasses in here. I could just fit the glasses themselves. So I wish you had just a little bit more depth and room to that. Getting to the laptop compartment can be a little bit frustrating, having to move these straps out of the way. For me, that's not typically an issue because I don't ever need like that instant of access to my laptop compartment. And if I was going through TSA, I would just pre-pull these back. But it's something that a lot of people complain about. And then the big one and the most polarizing thing about backpacks that people always freak out about, although I really couldn't care one way or another about it, is water bottle pockets. There's no water bottle pockets on this bag. There's no water bottle pockets on the GR2. Doesn't bother me one bit. I could always clip something to the outside or throw it in that pocket like I did. Not a big deal for me. But for a lot of people, that's an ultimate deal breaker, especially at the price point of Goruck bags. So it's worth calling out. There's also no sternum strap, but it doesn't bother me, especially for an EDC 18-liter bag. It was still super comfortable and fit me like a glove. So no issues there. So my critiques are the same as the GR2, basically, and none of them are deal breakers for me. None of them take away from the fact that I love this bag. So does the Goruck Double Compartment Bullet Ruck in Heritage Wax Canvas make it into the 11? 100%, without a doubt, absolutely, completely, without question, yes. This bag is freaking awesome. It is now my favorite EDC bag. It just barely edged out the Able Carry Daily Backpack just because it's just so beautiful. I love wax canvas. It's something that's super subjective, but it's something I love to the absolute moon, stars, universe, flying through Orion's belt, into the Andromeda Galaxy, beyond, into the Crab Nebula. This bag is beautiful and I love it to the ends of the universe. I can't think of a better looking EDC bag, and it functions exactly how I need it to function, even with the minor friction points. This thing is a gorgeous beauty. And because I have those 2 free hooks still to go, one of them is going to this guy. So welcome to the 11, your beautiful bag. If you've never tried Goruck, it was Kevin from Pack and Roam and John from Unpacked who were the Goruck cult leaders, and they really, really hammered into my head that I needed to try these bags, and I didn't really believe them at first. But now that I did, I am freaking in love with these bags. Goruck is great. It's worth the money. I don't care that some of these bags are like $375. That's fine. This is a bag that's going to last decades. For stuff like that, I'm willing to pay. Shoes, nice vacations, nice hotels, anything that's worth it for me to solve friction points in my life, make me comfortable, make me feel good wearing it, I'll pay the money. If you don't want to, I totally understand. I get it. Budget is a concern, and you need to weigh that when you make each purchasing decision. But for me, Goruck is freaking amazing, and I've loved both bags that I've used from them so far. The GR2 and this are both part of the 11, both great bags, and I'm going to use both of them on a regular basis. Beautiful, beautiful, amazing bags. Can't say anything negative about it other than the small critiques I made, which aren't even really that big of negatives for me, and I don't really care that much about any of them. So who is this bag for? Who is it not? It's for people who really like heritage wax canvas bags. If you don't like that, this probably isn't for you. You could check it out in Dyneema or some of their other fabrics that are lighter weight. But if you like heritage like I do, this would be the one for you. If you hate rugged looking backpacks and you just want something that's a bit more softer to the touch, a little bit more techy, a little bit less rugged looking, then this might not be for you. Those are the people who I would say avoid this, or people who are hardcore in the cult of water bottle pockets that can't think of or imagine a bag that doesn't have an external water bottle pocket. You would hate this bag. For everyone else that's into this look, into that vintage heritage wax canvas look, likes a high quality made bag that's extremely rugged, loves the way this looks, loves the organizational factor, wants to look cool, this guy's for you. So as promised, with the changes that I made to the 11 and how it's just backpacks now and how it's kind of more like a curated reference list versus like my personal collection, I want to tell you, if I could live the minimalist lifestyle I would love to live without being a YouTube reviewer, these are the bags I would keep. This would absolutely be my choice for EDC, and my choice for travel would be the reworked Toshi 20 liter. Super voluminous, super easy to pack out, super versatile, super lightweight, looks great, looks minimal, absolutely excellent bag. This would be my EDC. My sling would be the reworked Toshi 2.5 liter V2. Love that freaking thing, and it can hold a water bottle, as well as the held closely 15 liter day bag, because that thing is just great, and it's like the messenger bag of choice if I needed one. That covers absolutely all my bases, and if I was someone who was just like an everyday consumer and I didn't get to review backpacks and have that privilege, those would be my 4 bags. All these other bags I love, but if you were forcing me to live the most minimal thing, I lived in a studio apartment, I had room for nothing else, I lived in a van down by the river, those would be my 4 bags, and this would be one of them. So if you're interested in this bag, check out the link in the description below. And as to my life ramble, I wanted to say happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. I was lucky enough to have a dad that always loved me my whole life, always was there for me. It's coming over today. I'm making some breaded salmon, making some mashed potatoes, got some desserts on the way, and I love spending time with my dad. Great dude. So for all the people who have dads that are awesome, whether here or gone, I want to say thank you to all the dads out there. And if your dad wasn't a great person, I hope there was other people in your life that gave you that thing that you were missing. Because there's always mentors and there's always people out there that can fill that void if your dad is not someone to look up to. I'm glad that mine was, and I'm happy for everyone that had one that was, whether they're here or gone. Thank you. Dads are awesome. Happy Father's Day. Thank you as always for liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, and watching in general. Please turn on notifications so that you don't miss anything. And with all that being said, I will definitely see you in the next video. Take care.
Give me the 11 and nothing more to pack. Lightened in the curtain that was hanging on my back. I'm cutting through the static just to find the perfect set. The finest chosen dozen minus one is what I get. Pure and simple logic in a world of too much stuff. And